All right, strap in, or at least try to, because we are about to push this Hyundai Accent Blue to its absolute limit. And while we are not breaking any land speed records today, understanding how this car delivers its power is crucial for your daily survival on the highway. When you bury your right foot into the carpet, do not expect a kick in the back. The 1.6-liter four-cylinder engine wakes up with a lot of noise, buzzing angrily as it climbs towards the red line near 6,500 ARPM. We're talking about roughly 138 horsepower when it was new, but after years on the road, a few of those horses have definitely escaped the stable. Initial acceleration from a dead stop is actually quite peppy thanks to the short first gear, making it great for darting into gaps in city traffic. You hit 0 to 30 miles per hour quickly enough to feel confident. However, the real test, and honestly the struggle, begins when you try to merge onto a fast-moving freeway. We're looking at a 0 to 60 time that usually hovers around the 9 or 10-second mark, depending on how much cargo you are hauling and if you had a heavy lunch. You have to plan your overtakes. You cannot just pull out and hope for the best. You need to spot the gap, signal, and mat the throttle 3 seconds before you actually want to move. The 6-speed automatic transmission does a decent job of kicking down a gear or two, but there's a noticeable delay, a moment where the computer asks, "Are you sure?" before the revs flare up. Once you're up to speed, cruising at 70 or 80 miles per hour, the Accent Blue settles down, but you never let go of the steering wheel completely. The steering is electrically assisted and feels very light, almost like a video game controller, which is great for parking but can feel a bit vague at triple-digit speeds. Top speed is theoretically around 120 miles per hour, but I would not recommend going there. Above 90 miles per hour, the wind noise becomes a roar, and the car starts to feel a little floaty on its suspension. It is not dangerous, but it definitely reminds you that this chassis was tuned for economy, not the Autobahn. Braking performance is another area you need to respect. If you have the model with rear drum brakes, you will notice brake fade if you're doing repeated hard stops. The pedal feel is a bit spongy, so you learn to brake early and modulate the pressure. It stops, but it does not stop on a dime like a sports car. Understanding these limits is key. It is not a slow car in the grand scheme of history, but in a world of turbocharged SUVs, you need to drive it with momentum. Keep your revs up, look far ahead, and use the car's agility to maintain speed through corners rather than relying on raw power to get you out of trouble. It is an honest performance. It gives you everything it has, even if everything is just enough to keep up with the flow of traffic.